Hi everyone, my name is Yu Leon. Metric number 278038 will be presenting the country information application that obtains data from the API, which is required for the lab assignment 1 for mobile programming course. So as you can see right now, I have two .dat files, which consists of the main.dat and also the country data.dat. The main.dat file displays the user interface that consists of a text field and also an elevated button. When I type the country name on the text field and press the button on the elevated button, a progress dialog will be displayed first before moving to the next page, which is the country data.dat. So in the country, for the country data.dat, it will consist of the information of the country based on the API data that was obtained via the JSON files. And during that and it will also include the toast from the Flutter toast.dat, which will display a success message on the bottom part of the page. So in this case, we are going to emphasize on the 5 main parts, which are the country name, ISO2 file, ISO2, capital, currency code, and the currency name. The reason why I choose ISO2 as part of the information that will be added in the application is due to the requirement of the Flex API that requires the ISO2 code. For example, as shown above, the flag of Belgium will be displayed if I include the HTTPS website, which consists of the two-letter code, also known as the ISO2 code of Belgium, which is BE. So for example, if let's say if I type the letter Belgium on the country API, we are obtaining the X API key. So let's say I type Belgium. As you can see right now, the ISO2 for the country Belgium is BE, similar to the ISO2 code on the Flex API example. So in this case, we are going to conduct a simple briefing, which I will obtain the string API ID from the API Ninja's account, which will later parse the URL link from the API Ninjas for the country name based on the search country name controller, which is obtained from the country name controller.txt file. So on the var rest code 1, it will also respond on the status code whether it is okay, which can be accessible, which is rest code 1 equals to 2000. So we are going to http.get URL based on the X API key headers. And during that time, the API data will parse the responses and compile in the parsed JSON data in the form of the list. So I already mentioned that it will consist of list for the country name, country code, capital, currency code, and name. But if let's say if we are going to commit the output for the application, it will include the name ISO2 outputs in the form of brackets. So let's say if I type the country Malaysia on the application. As you can see right now, the progress indicator was shown and also the toast was displayed. So if let's say if based on the output that was displayed on the debug console, the outputs Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian ringgit are displayed including the brackets. So let's say if we also include the brackets on the link that will be displayed on the ISO code, an error will be occur in the form of an exception where the image cannot be be displayed. So to prevent such problem from occurring, like in this output panel where the brackets were also visible on the page application. So we are going to include the reduce dynamic function in order to prevent the elements of the brackets from displaying on the outputs. So if let's say if we, and at the same time we must include the code's finalized strings that will be displayed on the output. So let's say we are going to demonstrate a game using another different country, for example, Singapore. So we are going to load the information, and as well at the same time the progress indicator was displayed. And also the success toast will be also displayed based on this application from the string of codes which indicates the message was successful upon reaching the country data.dat file. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching this presentation.